Chances have been given. When I look at it, a lot of chances. Even if the small stuff is not shown on the screen, the master shouldn't be clueless about the whole thing. They should know who fights on the front lines, who plays an active part, and who lases. Adding Han to favorites. Adding Jenna to favorites. Yslat shouted Jenna, Yelsons, go into the synthesizing room. Go. Jenna said hey. Han Yslat replied hey, go on. Nothing will happen to you. He said what will happen if we go in there? Han Yslat replied him be judged for what you've done, probably. Ha said I've done nothing. I've just been dragged for no reason. Yslat said loudly this is the first time we think the same way. So what do you want me to do? Help you? It would have been different if you had at least pretended to fight. I've already gotten bored of you, so just go in there. Do you wish to synthesize? He shouted this is not fair. Let me. Synthesizing complete. Jenna, levels up. Acquired skill Hawkeye. Jenna said what happened? That guy turned into light and disappeared. Han Yslat replied in this place, those who are useless die as sacrifices. It's my turn now. Now, which one of you will it be? Yslat doubted next is Han and Tovi. Ha ha ha. Why you're sending me home, right? Right? I am going back home. Back home. Han Yslat said yeah, just think of it that way. Synthesizing complete. TDB4, turns into light and disappears. Ha, levels up. Acquired skill, composure. Han Yslat said you were lucky. Jenna said so you disappear in there if Master thinks you're useless. Han Yslat said why are you sad? You were the one who didn't wish to be left behind. Jenna said will that also happen to me one day if I become useless? Han Yslat replied the higher we go, the stronger the monsters and players will have to fight will become. We'll either die to our enemies, or die as sacrifices. Jenna replied is that so? You seem to know everything. The second day. Jenna said please take good care of me. Han Yslat replied did something happen to you? Jenna loudly said you said to get close to those who are strong. So, I will get closer to those who are strong. Please take good care of me. Han said unbelievable. You'll not die if you're just diligent. So, don't worry about it too much. Please take good care of me too. Mormont Carl said sorry, I'm the one, who was stupid. I was only causing trouble. No matter what happened, leaving you guys alone to fight was such a cowardly move. But it'll be different from now on. Han replied and how am I supposed to trust you? Mormont Carl said if you want, I can even go down on my knees for you. So, please, Jenna said seems like he's finally got himself together. Hey, have you ever fought a monster? I had also never fought with one before coming here. Mormont Carl said but you're so good at it, Han Yslat replied a difference in resolution. The resolve to win a fight and survive. Here, a spear. I'm not an expert, but I heard that it's the easiest weapon to pick up. Try using that. Do you know the basics of close-ranged, mid-ranged, and ranged? Jenna said ah. Close-ranged, sword. Mid-ranged, spear. Ranged, bow. Are these three the basics of close-ranged, mid-ranged, and ranged? He replied when there are only 3 of us that make up the party, that is the most efficient way of doing it. What are you doing? Prepare to fight. Mormont shouted F-fights, aren't you teaching me? Han Yslat answered you're asking me to teach you when I have never used a spear. I learned how to fight by myself. So, go and learn by yourself, too. Just be thankful that you have an opponent to fight. I only had scarecrows as opponents. You're closing your eyes during battle. We're not even putting our lives on the lines, and this is all you got. If I were a monster, you'd already be dead. Jenna said aren't you being too harsh for his first time? Han Yslat replied, I don't want to be caring for someone else. I'll leave you behind if you can't keep up. Do you have a family? Mormont Carl said, my little sister is waiting for me. Han said, at least you've got someone, I have nobody. So what'll happen if you can't go back home? Mormont Carl told it'd be awfully painful to die to a monster, more painful than being synthesized. If you don't want to carry on, then give up. The spark in your eyes looks better than it was before. You've selected the Force. Which is the annex of the armory, LV1. Do you wish to build it? 500 Genis will be consumed to build it. I unlocked free roam. And now that the forge is open, Ysel, come out if you're here. Ysel said, who do you think you are to call me wherever you please? Han answered, I'm getting bored of that repertoire. Try to change it. You were the one sending tips to whatever, right? Can you go on the internet? You should be able to go on it if you can interfere with the system. Ysel said, yeah, I can. My hobby is to surf around on the web. Han told, so the tips you're sending are being used as a base. After summoning equipment 10 times, unlock level 1 of the training facility. Then, unlock the forge. Ysel asked, how do you know that? Han said, it's a popular post on the Pick Me Up site, you know. The one that Loki posted. Ysel replied, you know Loki? Han answered, of course, I'm a user of Pick Me Up, too. Ysel said, heh, you were probably just one that stayed on the lower stages. Mr. Loki was the master of masters, god of Pick Me Up. He'd probably be the first in the world if he had a 7-star. Han said, why do you like Loki? Ysel told, because he's the one who made the impossible possible. Han said, ho, made the impossible possible. She again said, you don't even know that when you're a Pick Me Up user. Mr. Loki is, sorry to break the news. She angrily questioned, what? Han replied, I am Loki. Facility upgrades. Facility LV1, the basic facility, equipped with only the necessary equipment. Facility LV2, the facility is expanded further, and other facilities can be expanded. Facility LV3, the second floor is unlocked, and the facility is expanded. Ysel said, you, what are you talking about? What kind of bluff is that? Account number 46631913. Han Yslat said, due to the risk of hackers, the Pick Me Up account number is known only to the master himself and the server officials. Check it out for yourself. If you don't believe me, do you want me to tell you the goggle account? Ysel angrily said, no way, you Loki. That doesn't make any sense. Really? For real? Do it. Give me your autograph, you idiot. Let's go. With this, I'm a VIP member of Ragna Loki. Han said, what's Ragna Loki? Ysel replied, Master of Masters, Loki's fan cafe. Ysel said, Loki's signature is needed to become a VIP member. Han Yslat said, that's a thing. This is a first. Ysel replied, wait. So you're telling me I've been saying all of those cheeky things to Lokis? Are you being serious? Han Yslat told, I'm only a 1-star, so who cares if you're cheeky or not? Ysel shouted, hold on. What's going to happen to Niflheim without you? Han Yslat said, I wonder. Niflheim is the name of the waiting room in my account. There are 13 floors of nothing but waiting rooms. It has a capacity of 20,000 people. Though most of the facilities are the best of the best for infrastructure at level 18 to 22. Even with all that, what's the point? When I, the actual master, am here. Ysel said, then, what will happen to the 20,000 troops? Han said, if you're that worried about it, why don't you send me back? Ysel replied, I can't do that. Han Yslat said, I know. I already know that you're just an intermediary manager that does odd jobs. Anyway. The owner of this waiting room, whatever, is a human from Earth, right? And the summoned heroes aren't AI either. Ysel said, that's right. This affiliated world is slightly different, but they, all people. Master, whatever, doesn't know that we're living humans. He's just a user that genuinely enjoys playing pick-me-up. The heroes face all sorts of crises for the sake of their amusement. Han told, but more importantly, if I climb the tower to the 100th floor, can I return to Earth? Yslat replied, well, I don't know. Han Yslat said, you don't know? Next question. Who brought me here? Yslat replied, I can't answer that, sorry. Han Yslat said, it's fine. As you said, I'll find out when I climb the tower. On to the next question, how much of the Master's authority can you access? She said, as of now, giving advice, opening and closing facilities, and assisting with autonomous activities. Are the waiting rooms for the other Masters the same as this one? She said each one is slightly different, but as a whole they're the same. Do 100 million of these worlds exist? Mobius summoned the system, which created a limitless number of heroes by mixing together thousands of patterns, was a complete lie. Quantum AI, the hero, which I had known as an AI, was actually a real person. Roguelike, did that mean that the system, which had created a limitless amount of content, had 100 million individual worlds as well? To think that all the different worlds inside of the game were all real in another world. Does that mean that my careless decisions could have led to the death of a hero? Han shouted Yslat. She replied, yeah. If you want to climb the tower, listen to my words carefully, since I'll allow you to climb it. Jenna is a genius. Her growth speed cannot be compared to a 1-star. Despite having never handled daggers before, she quickly got the hang of it. On the other hand, Eren is sluggish. At this rate, he could end up dying sooner or later. Jenna said, I faced Eren while going easy on him, but he still wasn't all that much. Han Yslat said, stop being arrogant and follow me. Jenna asked, what is it? Won't you teach your number one subordinate today? Yslat said, who do you think you are, following Han around like that? I'm his number one subordinate. Get lost. Jenna said, but I'm his number one subordinate. That's right, isn't it? Yslat said, you fox-like wench. Do you even know who this one's? Master of. Han Yslat said, don't you have work to do? Yslat said, anyway, Loki's. Han's number one subordinate is me, so keep that in mind. Han said, should I not have said I was Loki? Jenna asked, what is that thing? Han said, don't worry about it. She's just an idiot. Yslat, you said you had the right to open it, right? Open the warehouse. Han, took iron ore, CXE, leather, CX3, wooden plank, CX4 from the warehouse. Yslat, this time open the forge. Yslat said okay. Jenna said, what are you planning on doing? Han said, you can't use that old iron sword of yours forever. Having spoken with Yslat, I found out that I am an existence that is half master and half hero. And if that's true, this will be possible. Territory invasion, which is only possible for a master. Yslat said, Loki, what are you making? Levitine? Or Bryanak? Han replied, in a place like this. Insufficient facilities. Penalties will be applied. An artisan is not present, penalties will be applied. There are no blueprints. Penalties will be applied. Probability of success, atrocious. Will you synthesize? Yslat said, obviously the production will be. Han Yslat said, manual. Choose a puzzle difficulty. The greater the difficulty, the greater the reward. Ultra Hell. Yslat in wonder said, Ultra Hell? Even though you have a triple penalty? Han Yslat said, just watch. It's a mini-game that masters play. Server, most of the masters don't do this, but the rewards are nice. Time limit. 3 minutes. I can even recognize the shape. Han said, no problem. Start. Yslat in excitement said, ho, this one's the hand of God. The legendary 1,000 hands. Asterisk Super Sucky 55. Asterisk Han, asterisk. Has made a well-forged longsword, C. Kaya. Well-forged iron sword rank C, it's strong and light and sharp. The materials used were crude, but that was made up for by the skills used to craft it. Ultra Great Sucky 55. Asterisk has crafted a balanced shorto, C. Ultra Great Success. Ha, has crafted a sharp long spear, C. Ultra Great Sucky 55. Has crafted a solid steel shield, C. Han Yslat said, are they all C ranks? I guess I can't help it with these materials. Yslat replied, you won't make more. Han answered, any more beyond this and it'll be too noticeable. I don't want the master to get any useless misunderstandings. Floor 4 quest type, subjugation dejective. Wipe out all enemies. Jenna said this elasticity is off the charts. With such high quality, won't the people who show up later want to try to steal this? Han Yslat said if you use the personal weapon option, that won't happen. Master is way too much. Making us attack with only 3 people, you take care of that harpy. Aaron, you protect Jenna. Boss, I'll work hard. Aaron, 15 frightened. All stats have decreased by 30%. Han Yslat said that punk, he's too excited. Jenna said get your act together. Mormont said you'll die if you fail this time as well. Are you fine with that? Han shouted stop freaking out. Mormont said I will try. Stage clear. Aaron, level lip. MVP, reward 10,000 G iron ore, C, XE leather, C, X, Mormont Carl said, I wasn't able to muster much of a performance anyway. What will happen to me? Aaron, was registered under favorites. Han Yslat said seeing as how you were put under their favorites. It looks like you'll live. Mormont Carl asked really? I'm alive. I survived. Jenna said following Underling 1, it seems Underling 2 has grown up as well. Han Yslat said what Underling? Underlings, you. Technically speaking, Underling 1 is Cirrus of Nibelheim. 5 members of Party 1.6 star and level 99, with 5 divine weapons I crafted myself and plastered with several ultimate skills, I may meet them someday as I climb the tower. As this is an idle game, the submaster, Cirrus, will do fine on his own, and there's Unit just in case. They're both so smart and clear-minded that I was beginning to wonder if they were actually artificial intelligence. Although, now that I think about it, they really aren't AI. Cirrus, are you really thinking of going? Unit, you should know that we need to utilize every second we have. Unit replied I can't offer much of a send-off. Please take care of the investigation as well. Cirrus said and I also ask that you take care of the rest for me. I will entrust you with the master's whereabouts. The residence has become LVZ. Hero capacity limit has increased. The residence's auxiliary building cafeteria 15 complete. Herdes will be provided with high-quality meals. The training grounds have become LV2. The effectiveness of hero training has increased. The Artillery's 3 auxiliary buildings, the forge, Oda shop, and refinement facility have synthesized and become the equipment workshop. Great! The T-Square advanced to LV2. Jenna in shock said oh, my word, what the hellheim happened here? Mormont Carl said is the master an archmage? To think such a thing is possible, Han Yslat said the master splurged a bit. He had no choice since this is when it starts getting fun. Due to the heroes' varied responses and the exciting battles, whatever would have gotten the feeling that, rather than just data made up of O's and 1's, they're real people. He can't help but feel that since he's a real human. To put it briefly, as we clear the floors, the waiting room becomes better and better. Han Yslat said Water's time of activity is quite fixed. There is a good chance that he's an office worker. He seems to watch the attacks quite often, and he can afford to splurge occasionally. Yslat replied, isn't this much better than some penniless student being the master since he was able to purchase the $65 new package? Han thought Pick Me Up isn't like other games that award gems for clearing missions, and they have almost no event where they throw buckets of gems at you. Ha said since the number of free gems you can earn is limited, a pay-to-win player is definitely appreciated. The master has started the Zid Sutmoning. See Herdes will be Sumission this time. Mormont Carl said it's another summoning. Han Yslat said we finished checking out the house, so we should greet our guests. There are two methods of summoning using gold, normal summoning using gems, premium summoning. Of course, summons using premium in-game currency are much more effective. Where is this place? What the Helheim is happening? I was just at home. Han thought, is there anyone who knows what's going on? I can't tell whether this is real life or a dream, gasp. Who are you people? Han Yslat said, be quiet. I don't intend to explain it to you all right away. I'll only explain it to those bastards who survive on their own and have their shit together. Yuwa, Yslat shouted, everyone, focus. Are any of you guys carpenters? If you are, step over there. Next, any blacksmiths or tanners? If not, was anyone a cook? He said, what are you suddenly? Wait, at least explain a bit, she said. What is this situation? Other man said, the Helheim is that tiny thing. Jenna asked, what is she doing? Han Yslat replied, divvying up jobs. There are a lot of new facilities. If the guys that died had been summoned now, they might have been able to be non-combatants. The system within the waiting room will now change. Forming Part 4. Herdes da 60 ROP. Party 200. Heisei, and if you don't have any specialty, then you have no choice but to push your body. Those who are unskilled don't even deserve to be fed scraps. The master is finally starting to categorize the useful ones. And he's weeding out the freshly summoned 1-stars by sending them into a dungeon. Yslat said, go into that door already. If you can't adapt, you'll be weeded out. He's probably challenging floor 1. John has returned to the embrace of the goddess. His fighting spirit will be eternally remembered. Han said, one has already died. Jenna said, couldn't he have lived had you given them a proper explanation? Han Yslat said, no need to waste an explanation on those that will perish on the lowest floor. Teddy has returned to the embrace of the G000E5S. His fighting spirit will be eternally remembered. Han said, that's 2 down, now. At least 2 should survive. Yslat said, Daika, Descartes, Sigler, Chloe. They said she wants us to fight monsters. I can't do that. No way. He shouted, I'll also fight. Yslat said, what? You don't get a turn, so stay out of this. Jenna said, has Aaron always been like that? Han replied, Yslat, recommend Aaron as a party member. He lacks combat experience, so this isn't a bad idea. To join Party 3. Will you authorize it? Aaron. Tips, sometimes, a herd will wait to join combat. They will demonstrate higher ability in said combat. Han said, helping is fine, but don't set a precedent like me. He said, I understand. Jenna said, I want to go back and eat some rice. I've eaten nothing but potatoes since I got here because of this damn so-called master. Han Yslat said, I can't tell if she's good at reading the mood or not. The sky is bright. He's watching us. Like how a god watches the world. Han Yslat said, don't worry. He has better things to do than listen in on every individual. He can't hear our voices. I the fool. He food. I'm sure it's going to get filtered and reduced before being relayed to the master. Stage clear. There weren't any fatalities. How many goblins did you kill, Aaron? Aaron replied, 1 goblin. Alright, so you understood me. Han Yslat replied, let's go back to our residence. Are we finally being liberated from potatoes? Oh. The facility certainly got better. Since there's a cafeteria, does this mean we get to eat expensive food from now on? As long as the master doesn't think you're useless. Jenna in excitement said, so we're basically guaranteed the highest quality lamb steaks. He said, I'm content with a turkey, boss. Han Yslat replied, did you forget I said you'll be thrown away if you're useless? Man shouted, there are seasonings but no ingredients other than potatoes. Han thought this asshole, despite claiming to be a chef, Dolph, LVI, EXPD/1D, class, Ovis strength, 12-12 intelligence, 11-11 vitality, 12 out of 12 dexterity, 10 out of 10 skills. He doesn't even have a culinary skill. Is there no one who has the cooking skill? Han Yslat asked, you're Chloe, right? Han said, you'll be the one to cook from now on. Will you appoint Chloe as the chef? Dolph, will lose this position. Man said, W8. I'll make it again. Han Yslat said, you're a fast thinker, but you should have picked an easier lie to cover up. This will be the only time I let this slide. Jenna said, delicious. I didn't know potatoes could have such a variety of flavors. Chilaway said, that's because I used a variety of seasonings. Listen while eating. I will not be repeating myself. Han Yslat said, you guys can repeat what I tell you to the next batch of newbies. That is, if you don't want to see people die while flailing around. Aaron said, is that true? Jenna replied, I also never fought till I came here either. So, let's all work together. He said, will the two of us be doing different jobs? Han said, Enoch, Chloe, you two will be the carpenter and chef respectively. You'll be able to help us in other ways. Ha said, I can also help with woodwork. Han Yslat replied, if this is another lie, I might suggest you as the first sacrifice for synthesis. I think you'll make a fine component. It's true that non-combatants have a higher rate of survivability, but don't get too lax. Han Yslat said, there are only a limited number of spots, so if someone who is more gifted than you is summoned, you'll be relegated back as a combatant. The next day, my mundane daily life started to change. Only 3. Zid, Hansen, and Daika. 3 teenage boys joined for training. Jenna said, I bet the rest of them are panicking, trying to find a place to hide. Han said, I was bored of fighting Aaron. This'll be a nice change of pace. Aaron was a bad influence for them because these kids also started calling me boss. The difference in stats between us is 7 to 8. That's about the same difference as a child and an adult. I could have never accomplished such results in a short time if this was Earth. Jenna's beginner archery is already level 5. Beginner short sword proficiency is also at level 2. Aaron's spearmanship has also hit level 2, but he hasn't been able to progress beyond that. He shows up first to the training groups and goes back last, but his skills aren't increasing efficiently. As for the 3 kids, they each obtained level 1 swordsmanship. Maybe it's because they're similar in age, but they banded together closely. Han Yslat said, you're very strong, boss. It's because my level is higher. Ha questioned level. Han said, they're far better than those cowering. You'll learn soon enough. A few days later, there was another free 10x summon. I didn't have to do a thing, this time. Aaron and the trio took care of it all. Only one person ended up dying during the weeding. Jenna said, the population is slowly growing. Ha replied, it'll grow even more. Jenna said, but how come the master isn't going to the 5th floor? It's been a while since we cleared the 4th floor. Han Yslat said, that's because floor 5 is on a whole nother level. The remaining members of Party 1 hasn't been decided yet. Every 5 floors, the difficulty shoots up. It's kind of like a boss floor, to put it shortly. There's a chance that even I might not survive. Who knows how many will die, even after all the weeding out and training. I didn't see a reason to tell Jenna how devilish the difficulty will become later on. Combats Jenna Shirai Han Yslat Aaron Delkard Z00 Hansen supporters see Chloe. Floor 4 quest type, subjugation objective, eliminate your enemies. I'll be in your care. Relax. Han Yslat said you guys are the shields. There's no need to attack unnecessarily. The sword and bow are right behind you. The weak have their own way of fighting. And it's through formation. Use the strength of the group rather than the individual. I did not join the battle. I could clear this stage by myself, but if I joined in, they wouldn't be able to practice their formations. Stage clear. Zid, Hansen, level up. M/P, JE, asterisk, rewar asterisk 2000G, Iron Dray, C, XE, Leather, C, X1. We don't know what kind of quests will be given on floor 5. There will definitely be some I won't be able to handle by myself. He said, how was it? Other replied, what do you mean, how was it? It was easy. Jenna said it doesn't look bad at all. Han replied, yeah. Master has noticeably been logging in more and more. In the second 10 pull, he obtained a blacksmith and a tanner and had activated the equipment workshop. The blacksmith, tanner, and carpenter all worked together to create equipment. They mostly produced E-rank swords and shields. This was distributed to the newly summoned heroes and it explosively increased their survivability. The main party was given relatively higher-ranked equipment. And the 3 that didn't perform that well were dealt with through synthesis. They were the ones who didn't even show themselves on the training grounds and tried to find an exit day in and day out. Among them was Dolph, who had lied about his class. A few days went by. Zio said, are we going to the 4th floor today as well? I want to go to the next floor now, Han Yslat said. Isel. Today's the 5th floor, right? Isel said, probably. Jenna said, are we really going to the 5th floor? Han Yslat replied, it'll be a little different this time. It's good to be relaxed, but your head will go flying if you're too relaxed. I'll keep that in mind. Aaron said, boss, there are no monsters. Han Yslat replied, we'll get to the center of the city first and check the situation. Get in formation. Yes, sir. Han Yslat thought the city is empty of even the monsters we have to fight. There aren't any civilians either, this isn't a subjugation. Zio shouted, B-boss, hurry. Aaron said, just what is this place? There are buildings, but no people. Jenna told, there are blood stains, but they're dried up. It's completely different from the quests we've done until now. Those were only warm-ups. Han Yslat said, Jenna, can you climb that bell tower? Yes. Sir, what can you see? Jenna shouted, so, the city, I hope I'm seeing this wrong. Aaron said, Miss Jenna, just what is it? Jenna replied, gee, gimme a second. Is this fine? Will this be okay? Han Yslat shouted, there are a bunch of goblins outside the city. It looks like they're coming here. How many? Floor 5 quest type, survive objective, survive the onslaught of enemies. Goblin LV. X 1846. Aaron said, thousands of goblins. Are you sure you're not seeing it wrong? I really wish I was as well. Han said, get down for now. Aaron in wonder said, boss, maybe something went wrong. Han Yslat said, don't get scared. The mission this time isn't subjugation, but survival. We just need to endure those guys for a set amount of time. Hansen asked, Ca, can't we just hide? Han Yslat replied, we can't enter the buildings. Let's move for now. Aaron said, how long do we have to survive for? Han answered, 10 minutes. We just need to survive for 10 minutes after clashing with the enemy. Then it's doable. Such terrible luck, in the case that a survival quest is given at one of the lower floors, the chance that the party survives is only 9%. We can't stay on the main road. Let's go to an alleyway. Yes. Although it isn't a big deal on the higher floors, it's infamous on the lower floors as a hero grinder. Zio said, isn't there a better place? Han Yslat replied, all the buildings have some damage to them, so they'll have openings as well. We don't have time to look elsewhere. Let's hold out here. Since the passage is narrow, we just need to deal with them one by one. The fact there's 1,000 of them doesn't matter. Yes, we'll do our best. Eren said I'll handle the left entrance, while Eren handles the right. Zid and Hansen will take care of the back entrance. Fight in turns. Don't try to help out unnecessarily and take time to recover. Understood? Yes. Han Yslat replied. Jenna, you'll be on standby at the center of the three-way. Save your arrows and don't fire until I tell you. Jenna said yes. Build up barricades before the goblins get here. Bear in mind. If they get through at even one point, we'll all die. Yes sir. 30 minutes, since this isn't the waiting room, the time in the stage will be the same as that of Earth's. The timer will only start after we come into contact with the goblins. Han Yslat shouted. Damn it. The barricades aren't finished yet. Since it's like this, make a wall with their corpses. Eren answered. Understood. You dog-like. Jenna said please tell me whenever you're tired. It's a circular pattern. Block, and stab back. Han Yslat said they're bound to act stupidly by how stupid they look. Ha, you bastards, really? Eren shouted. We just need to endure this for 10 minutes, right? Han Yslat said have I ever lied before? Don't die a useless death in a place like this. Jenna Shirai Han Yslat Eren Delkert Hansen Diz. Han Yslat shouted. Zid. Switch with Hansen. He replied I can still do more, shut up. Switch, now. Shit, I'm still low on stamina. Not only are these guys low-leveled, they are unskilled. They grow exhausted easily because they move too much. One strike is enough. One at a time, kill efficiently, using the least stamina I can. Stab, slice, and stab again. Han Yslat said these guys are weak. They're just weaklings from the first floor. But there are a lot of them. Too many. Do these guys not feel any fear? They keep coming like they want to die. Switch again. Zid shouted. Hansen. He said all right. That's the most dangerous part. Han shouted. Jenna, help Zid. Gather your arrows immediately after you shoot them. Jenna said I've been waiting for this. Jenna, you also need to deal with the goblins that come to the opening. Alright? Yes, sir. Eren said. Be boss. Didn't you say it was only 10 minutes? Han Yslat replied. You idiot, it's only been 5 minutes. Jenna said. Stop coming up here. It's getting annoying. Zid is bleeding. Health will slowly go down. Han shouted. Zid, switch with Hansen. Jenna said. Hold on, Zid. Han said. Don't think about it and just switch. Hold off the goblins. But dash. Stop being a crybaby. You'll be healed if you go back. Zio, 15 frightened. All stats are decreased by 30%. Zid said. My hand is. Hansen said. You little, crybaby. Get a hold of yourself, you fuck. Are you going to leave us all to die? I am sorry. Jenna, halt. Zid's bleeding. Zid, remember that Hansen will die if you don't switch with him. Yes. Han Yslat said. Go back, shithead. Hansen shouted. Boss. My sword isn't working. Zid, can you switch? Zid, can you switch? Zid replied. Why yes, I can. I can fight. Switch. Hansen, go and inspect your sword. Just as I expected. It's better than the frank old iron sword, but it's still an ordinary iron sword. Han told. Even if it doesn't have a blade, you can still hit goblins with it. If your sword isn't working then use a shield. He shouted. Jenna, switch with Eren. But I can still, Jenna said. Rest when you can rest. Don't be stubborn. Han Yslat shouted. 3 minutes left. Just endure for 3 minutes. Shit. How could 30 minutes feel this long? Aaron, switch with Jenna. Jenna said Al already, he said don't worry, even resting for 10 seconds is enough. Hansen, switch. Yes. Han ordered Jenna, shoot arrows at Hansen. Jenna replied huh. But. Han said shit, not many arrows left. We'll die if that part is breached anyway. Shoot all of it. Jenna said alright. He shouted Hansen sweet, Jenna in shock. Huh. Zid. Zio, asterisk, has fallen into a moribund state. His life is in danger.